Alright, so continuing to work on the P47 wing. You can see I've taken a piece about like so and split it so that I can fill in this run here. I'm going to leave these two ports open so I can work on the landing gear lock for the P47 Guillows aircraft. The landing gear is locked in both up and down position by way of a gun barrel that slides in and out. It'll be a gun barrel attached to a length of piano wire that extends back through the landing gear wire here and produces a positive lock on that section of the landing gear leg. So anyway, a couple things. I'm going to continue to work on the infill, but I also wanted to let people know. I mean, it was a long hiatus here from this project. I did take a step away from it, and it was, these builds are the main reason for the channel. The idea of posting flight sim stuff too, that kind of came around as in the course of building these kits. There's some downtime between waiting for things to cure, paint to set up, layers of filler to dry before they can be sanded and all that stuff. And that downtime I was filling with flight sim, and I just started posting those videos to the channel when when the project was languishing. So anyway, that's that. And I just wanted to extend, to the folks who were following the aircraft, the aircraft projects, and a few of you who asked, when I thought I might be able to get back on task here with this kit. And the P47 is an iconic warbird, and interest in these projects is typically a little bit higher than it is on the civilian aircraft that I do, even though they might be iconic too. The Lockheed Air Express was probably the most advanced aircraft of its time, early in aviation. So it's an important airplane. But there's a big difference between an important civilian aircraft and these warbirds, which just have so much more of a fan base, I guess. So for the guys who are, the people who are waiting on this, am I ever going to get back on task? Well, here we are, and I'm happy to be. I'm glad too. I was away from this for quite a while, and I kept wondering, and I have it here on the bench all for the better part of the last year. In fact, it's been more than a year since I set it aside, and I left it out on the desk as a constant reminder, hey, you got work to do. You need to get back on this thing, and I felt bad for the people who were tuning in to at that time when I was, I think I got up to something like 19, it was like 19 videos, maybe more, and then the project just ceased, and I tried to restart, light the fire again with some other projects and different kinds of things, and even some plastic kits, and you know, just anything to get me back to sitting at this bench and doing stuff. Also, I get concerned when I step away, you know, because, you know, there's a certain workflow, and I don't want to say skill set, I wouldn't go that far, but there's a certain mindset and way of looking at things when you're in the middle of a project like this, that, you know, you're looking forward to solutions and you're thinking about things all the time, daily. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, what I'm doing next and what I'm doing. And so when you set all that a project aside, all that stuff kind of goes to sleep. And, you know, you can forget, well, you know, I needed to do this before I do that, and I needed to do, you know, certain things with the landing gear before I could really proceed on some of these other aspects of the build. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to paint myself into a corner. So there's a little bit of, you know, trepidation about that when you step away from a project too. That, gosh, I hope when I restart that thing, I remember where I left off and what it was that I wanted to be focusing on as I was infilling this wing. So I did spend some time in the last, you know, few weeks just sitting here at the desk thinking about stuff and, you know, going over the plan and, you know, trying to reassure myself that I could pick it up and avoid any of those kind of pitfalls that can occur just from letting something sit, you know, for so long. But in the end, I just decided, you know, let's just, you know, do what we do. Let's just get going. Not wing it, but, you know, spend a little bit of time thinking about it, focusing on it, catching up, and then let's just get to work. So again, fitting these pieces, I don't want to sand too far. I do want to keep a flat edge on the part as I'm sanding it. I don't want to round this off in any which way. So you know, the technique I've come up with is just to slide the thing across at almost a 45-degree angle. You don't want to go sliding, sanding off the edge, because that's where you get the rounded ends, the rounded corners and stuff. Just for anybody who's taking notes. So I see we got a nice clean fit there. It dropped right in. You know, and I know a lot of people are looking at this and saying, "Man, this guy, look at this. What's he doing?" The tedium of that, you know. And I get it. You know, this is what I do. What I'm doing here isn't for everyone. It seems a bit, I don't know. Maybe it's extreme. I don't know. You know, it's one thing to do a section of an airplane because you know, but I'm doing the whole thing and infill, and you know, I like the effect. Oops, I got a little deep, didn't it? It's come out. There we go. Pop that right out, flushing it. You know, I like having. It's almost, you know, I can get into a Zen state, you know, doing this, just meditative state, and set aside other issues and just focus on this. Or I can sit here and run through different other aspects of life in my head while I'm doing this. I can do either one, really, with doing a task like this. You know, this is the kind of stuff that's in my wheelhouse of personality. It's not for everybody. Sometimes, you know, I listen to music. Sometimes I play something on the guitar. Sometimes, you know, I do the flight sim, you know, as part of just the routine of being back here and having a project. All of that I consider part of the project. So I guess that's okay. And, you know, I don't know. I'm a nut. this is what I like to do. Let's just leave it at that. So as far as the aircraft goes, it has a fuel tank, centerline belly tank. It has munitions for the 2 hard points. It has the material in the plan diagram of the 2 wing hard points. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to put the hard points on the airplane. I just like the look of the P-47 with those features on the underwing and the landing gear. Flaps, you know, posable up or down, and the gear hopefully retractable. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to hang the underwing store. I don't know if I'm going to put the bombs on the hard points, or, you know, configure those in any other way than just as I think they'll just be empty hard points. But I do think I'll either use these parts and make this type of fuel tank, or I can look at diagrams, pictures, photographs, and do the pancake fuel tank. I think it's 150 gallon. It's the flatter fuel tank that they put on the center line of the P-47, so it would have less likelihood of. I think the reason they went with the pancake, the flat one, was because of ground contact. These come awfully close to the ground when the aircraft is sitting on tarmac, and I don't know if that's why, or if it was a bit more capacity in the pancake fuel tank. I tend to like the look of that one on the P-47 more than I like this one. But then again, I do like to use the kit components whenever I can as an homage or whatever to the kit designer and to the, you know. So for Guillow to have, you know, provided these kits, and these are the parts they're providing for them, you know, I like it in a way just to use what's provided as often as I can. So, you know, maybe it'll be this tank. But what I want to do with the tank, and with anything, if I do decide to, you know, fabricate the bombs or put the rocket tubes onto this P-47, I want them to be removable and not permanently installed. So, you know, sometimes you when you look at the airplane, you want to see it loaded up, and sometimes when you look at it, you want to see it clean. So I like, when I build these kits, I like to be able to, you know, represent that on the kit as well. So nothing, you know, really like that, weapons and so forth permanently mounted, just available and, you know, can be placed. I've got, you know, ways of storing the components when they're not actually attached to the aircraft, you know, if I want. Yeah, hold on. All right, thanks for watching.